5 to 7, a warning today that a plan to levy a 20p flat fee deposit on old canned and bottled drinks in Scotland next year could lead to greater plastic pollution. It comes from the Aluminium Packaging Recycling Organisation, Alupro, and its Executive Director Rick Hindley joins us from our Edinburgh studio, and we can also speak to Jenny Hume, Campaign Manager for the Association for the Protection of Rural Scotland. Good morning to you both. Rick Hindley, first of all, why do you think that this deposit scheme could lead to more plastic pollution?
Our concern relates mainly to multi-pack cans. The majority of cans that are sold in Scotland are sold as multi-pack. So you go into a supermarket and you buy 24 cans. What we're really worried about is that every can in that pack will have a 20 pence deposit on it based on the proposals from the Scottish Government. So you would get 20p back each time you take the can back. But the problem is you could buy the same volume of drink in 4 plastic bottles, 4 big 2-litre plastic bottles. Now, with the cans, you'd be paying £4.80 extra when you buy the cans, but when you buy the bottles, you're only paying an extra 80 pence. So at the point of purchase, you're faced with a decision: do you buy the cans, which is going to cost you £4.80 more, or do you buy the plastic bottles, which is going to cost you 80 pence more? And our survey has shown that the majority of people, the majority of Scots, would take the option of buying the plastic bottles.
And you're briefing MSPs today. Jenny Hume, you have campaigned for the deposit return scheme for years. You know, from what Rick Hindley is saying, this could backfire.
Hi there. I think it's important to remember that we'll just be paying while we borrow a bottle or can and then getting our money back when we return the empty. I think that's a really fundamental thing to remember. And also, we've talked to Rick about this quite a lot and we've looked at the data, but we're just not convinced that it stacks up. So
you don't believe that people would choose, if they had to spend £4.80 more on a pack of cans, that you think that they would be willing to do that?
Well, again, remember, they do get the money back. So it's only really a one-time payment, because then the next time you go to the supermarket, you're getting that £4.80 back and you can put that towards your shopping. But we haven't seen any convincing evidence of this actually happening in the 40 other places where we have deposit return systems. There are some systems where there have been fluctuations in different products on the market, but there are often many more than just one factor in those scenarios.
The evidence isn't there, Rick Hindley, then?
Well, I think the evidence is there because the UK market is very different. So 78% of all drinks cans sold in the UK are sold in multipacks, whereas the countries where that are used as the sort of the examples, multipacks do not exist. So 78% of the cans are sold singly, so you don't have the same issue. But the other thing is, all of these countries that are referenced, so Norway is held up as the model which Scotland seems to be following, they actually have a variable deposit. So if you buy a can, you pay a lower deposit compared to buying a 2-litre plastic bottle. So it does work everywhere else where we have a deposit system. So there's absolutely no reason why we couldn't do it in Scotland. And I think the reality is, consumers, yes, they're concerned about the environment, but right now they're very price sensitive. So if you go in and you see something that's £4 cheaper, effectively, you will buy that product.
Well, let me bring back Jenny Hume. That is an issue, isn't it? I mean, price is an issue for many people. £4.80 is quite a lot of money. Do you think it's worth looking at these packs and maybe taking a different approach?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Money is a really important factor for people. But we think 20 pence is a good starting amount for the deposit, and any lower, it might not be enough of an incentive for people to return their empties, which we've seen is the case in lots of systems in the US. So I'm not sure what level Rick is suggesting the cans might be at. And the other thing to say is that...
It is the packs, though, isn't it? Just briefly. That's the issue.
The multi-packs?
Yeah. Jenny Hume, I think we've lost you there, and sorry, we've run out of time. Thank you very much. Jenny Hume there from the Association for the Protection of Rural Scotland, and Rick Hindley there from Alupro.